walk with your dog in the forest, and then you fly to Chile to do a show, and then you come back and you walk with the dog in the forest again, and you just ask yourself, what the ass was this? I think the whole world was actually at a collective burnout. I miss a dialogue with a politic, you know, a little bit of love, and people start appreciate the things what they didn't appreciate for a long time.
Wha Gwaan Munchy.
Miss Munchy, what we tell him?
I hear me, Miss Munchy. People laugh with Munchy.
Miss Munch, are you run the thing, so watch you now.
You know me, I say Munchy.
Yell up Munchy.
Wha Gwaan Munchy.
Reggaeville family, welcome to a brand new episode of Wha Gwaan Munchy. I'm finally able to present to you the show again. And as you can see, I have no one sitting right here next to me because I'm connected to my guest virtually. Yet this is no less heartical because I'm very happy to see my brethren gentleman. How are you today?
I'm good. It's good to see you too, Munchy. You okay? Yeah, everything all right in this funny times?
Man. All is well, all is well. I'm so happy to see you because you have amazing news to share with us. You are going to drop a new album, and after 20 years in the business and after 6 solo albums, this is going to be your first one in German. So tell me a bit, when did you make the decision to do an album in German? What motivated that, and why did you not do that any earlier?
Well, I guess everything happened to its right time. Yeah. And I had the thought already, long time, you know, and it's been years ago that I thought like, wow, I play a lot of shows in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. And the majority of the lyrics are not understood, you know, in the audience. You know, they feel the vibe, and you know, they like the music, and you know, maybe they feel the aura of the artist, you know. But when it comes to the lyrical content, if you're not into that thing, it's hard to understand. So it was always something that I said to myself, wow, you know, I like the idea to do a project in German. And you know, what's important too for me to communicate is that I don't start singing German now. You know what I mean? It's not like I've been voicing English songs, you know. I just did a combination with Conscience. I did a song with Chris Martin, you know. It's very important for me to keep the international thing alive, you know, and with just a heart desire, you know. I want my mom to understand the lyrics, you know. So, and yeah, and then I did this TV show, Sing My Song, which is about 6 artists in South Africa from different genres, and they cover each other's song in their own style, you know. So I did a song from this singer Mark Forster in a reggae version, and it was in German language, and I sang the song, and I felt like, wow, it doesn't feel weird to me. It felt kind of natural, you know. So maybe Sing My Song, this TV show, gave me the motivation to just start something, you know, because it's always the moment to find, it's always difficult to find the beginning of it, you know. So that was the last motivation maybe. And then after I Sing My Song, I started in different camps together, and we just created some ideas, you know. Altogether it was like, I don't know, 60 till 80 demos, and 16 of those demos made it to the album now. And it was a hard piece of work, you know, because I realized if, you know, the people understand every word of the lyrics in German after 20 years, you know, it's something I felt this pressure, you know, and it was a long journey, and I thought it would be much easier because German, you know, is a beautiful language, but when it comes to the sound, you know, it's difficult to flow it and roll it sometimes. You have some words that really explain a significant, a specific feeling, you know, and it's even when you check back, you know, like the thinkers and philosophers and stuff, you know. So there's an old tradition, and you know, but to make it roll, to make it sound soulful, you know, that was the hardest challenge, you know. So that's why I guess it took so long, because I started like 3.5 years ago.
Wow.
And now I'm like shortly before the release, which is the 20th of November, and I'm, you know, I just feel good, you know. It's like something fresh, it's something new for me, you know. I like to, you know, jump in different type of waters and try out different things, you know, and it was a challenge, you know. It keeps me fresh, you know.
Yeah, wonderful. I think we didn't even mention a title as yet, because it's going to be called Blaue Stunde, which is the blue hour. Some some in-between time between day and night and the time when the mosquitoes come out normally. Why did they name it Blauerstunde?
Yeah, you explained it already, you know, it's an in-between space, you know, you don't know if is it daytime or is it nighttime, you know, and it doesn't matter. There's a certain space, a certain feeling, a certain vibe, which is between the line, between the chair, but yet it's our own space, you know, it's between opportunity and reality, you know, and it's it's full of poetry to me, you know. So the hardest thing was to find a title for the album, you know. I had like the songs ready. It was much easier to do the songs than to find a title for the album, you know. And then it was like, wow, the record company said, hey, we need the title, and I was almost desperate because I couldn't find no title. Everything's, you know. And then it was the Blue Hour, and I looked in the sky, and then, you know, we had a song already called Blue Hour, but it didn't make it on the album. But then it just came in my mind and was like, wow, it fits, it makes sense.
So Blauerstunde, it will be released on November 20th. So you can look out for that. We're going to talk about it a bit more in detail in just a few from now. And at the same time, of course, you can always check Reggaeville for more releases that are coming up. Rocky Dawuni just released The Voice of Boon Bon Volume 1, that is out. Exile the Brave is going to drop his project Affinity, or he just dropped it on November 6th. So you have enough to look out for, enough to listen to at the same time. And Kenny Smyth and Kumar, they teamed up for a combination called Truth. And the video premiered also with us right here on Reggaeville.
What if you got something to tell me, just tell me no. Don't wait till tomorrow if you tell me, oh, I'm just a human, just like you. Hey, if I'm your friend, I'm gonna tell you the truth, Lord. But so wrong, still I'm a blind jerk. If I'm wrong, then the truth don't hurt, because the truth is at the main facts. Never be a fake. If you see me doing wrong, tell it to my face, Lord. I don't like to hear the truth. You gotta tell it to their face, to their face. If you're gonna be true to yourself, I don't like to hear the truth. I gotta tell it to their face.
We touched the topic already a little bit because you mentioned that it's way harder to write lyrics when all of a sudden you are aware that everyone understands every little thing you're saying, right? And so did it?
I wouldn't say everyone, you know, because actually most of the people on this globe understand English and lyrics, right?
Yeah.
But in that territory, in Germany, Switzerland, Austria, the majority understand it probably much more when you sing in German, you know.
Would you say that it makes it even harder to write lyrics in your mother tongue when you as a native speaker can be so much more precise with your words and so much more specific with the words that you choose?
Yeah, I guess that was the type of pressure that I felt, you know. And the thing is, when I started my musical journey, the first album was released, I think it was 99, you know, so it's been a while. And at that time, like here in Germany, when you listen to the radio or look at the charts, there was just English native, you know, there was English music in the radio, you know, and then it changed, you know, because back in the days, I never liked nothing from it, what I heard in German language. But, you know, with the years now, some dudes came up and I really realized, wow, you know, it can flow, it's possible, you know, no matter if it's a Max Herre or a Joy de Nalani, you know, and the whole Freundeskreis era, you know, I was into that already. So, you know, I felt like it's the time, you know, it's a good time. And as I said, it was a hard project, you know, it was a long time desire, and I realized it now. And I'm very excited. I feel like a newcomer, you know, after 20 years. You know, it's kind of, maybe it's happening, because you got to start from scratch again, you know. But the vibe is the same because it's produced by Don Corleon and Jugglerz, you know. And I was in LA at Corleon's studio, and we vibed together. And I did some songs for his things. And then, you know, I said, you know, Don, I'm working on a German project right now. And, you know, I said, what happened? Let's do it together, you know? So he played some rhythms, and the vibe was immediately back there, you know, because it's been a while since we worked together, you know, since he moved from Kingston to LA. And then I went to Hawaii in this writing camp in the transit. I called him, and then we made a spontaneous decision to just link up, you know, and meet in the studio. And the other half of it was produced by Jugglerz, and Evolution, you know, put a big fingerprint on it. You know, so it's like, it's reggae music, you know, it's dancehall music, it's reggae music. It's nothing new from that time, because it's the music that I love. You know, I wouldn't sing on nothing that I doesn't, where I don't feel it.
Would you also say that being able to express yourself much more in detail, that this record is more personal than previous records?
No, I wouldn't say that, because I think every record is personal, you know. That's my mindset, this is my melodies, this is my lyrics, what I did together with people, you know. So it's like a thing where, you know, I think when you listen to my songs, you get to know me, you know, you get to know my mindset, you know, that. So from that point of view, it wasn't no big difference, you know. But speaking in my mother tongue was just a whole different thing, which felt on a different level, kind of different intense, you know what I mean? So it was like, wow, it's right there. And I was touring last year, and I played some songs from the German project just to see how the people reacted, you know, and it was amazing what happened. You know, it was very emotional. It was like, okay, it's another channel where they can get through you, you know?
Yeah, it also touched me a lot when listening to songs. I mean, you said all the music you make is personal. How much of Tillman is gentleman, and how much do you want to expose yourself to the public with your music?
Well, I think that makes the difference, you know, because there's a lot of songs what are actually replaceable from artist to artist, you know. I think it's, when I hear music, when I hear lyrics, I love to get to know something about the artist and his mindset, you know. So from that point of view, it has always been personal. That's my point of view. But then you have different layers, you have different channels to express, you know. You can put it on a biographic thing, you can, you know, have a social point of view, you can, you know, watch the news and write a song about it afterwards, you know. You can have a nice conversation with somebody, but it's always your mindset, you know. So I think it's very important that the artist got an emotional connection to each song, because, you know, you wanna sing that song a couple of years, you know. And if you don't have no emotional connection to the song, I think the people feel it, you know.
You spoke of emotions, and I also, when I listened to the album, I realized that some songs like By Design, Be With You, or Sonar, So Close, I felt like those were even more emotional songs than maybe others on the album. I think Sonar, it's about a friend you want to reconnect with. Are you ever hesitant to say, okay, can I release this single, because I'm really exposing so much of myself, of my inner self, to the
yeah,
people?
of course there is a line, I think, you know. I think there's a line, but I think it's very important that, you know, you mean it, that you really mean what you sing. And, you know, after so many projects, after so many songs that I did, you know, I think the challenge is always not to repeat yourself, and I always try to find different perspectives. And this is actually what I did, you know, just find a new perspective. And, you know, I'm 46 now, so I'm a family father. I got 2 kids, you know. I face my responsibility, and at the same time, we live in this musical bubble. You know, since 20 years, we're touring the world, and, you know, we live out of the suitcase, you know. And this whole artist life, you know, it's such a blessing, you know, and I'm so thankful about it. And on the other side, you know, I always feel a little rootless, you know, because when I'm in a tour bus, I want to, you know, be home. And when I'm home, I want to be in a tour bus, you know. And then, you know, you walk with your dog in the forest, and then you fly to Chile to do a show, and then you come back and you walk with the dog in the forest again, and you just ask yourself, what the ass was this, you know? Because sometimes it just goes too fast, you know. And the desire, what it creates is more times for reflection, you know, a peace of mind, you know, tranquility, away from the crowd, you know. So I guess that always swings within the lyrics. If I listen to the album Blauerstunde, there's a lot about the desire to, you know, to reflect, you know, from the noise, from the crowd, from the from the madness in this world.
Did the pandemic help you to kind of slow down, and did the pandemic maybe also influence some of
I
the
guess
songs?
the pandemic forced me to slow down, you know. I think the whole world was actually at a collective burnout, and then this virus come now, and it's like there's a situation that nobody ever faced before, especially in our generation. You know, it's something that the first time we don't know how tomorrow will look globally. You know, back in the days, as I can remember, there was always hotspots and areas in the world where you feel like, sure, man, you know, and you start pray for that place, and now it's everywhere in the world, you know, and it kind of, of course, it's super frustrating, you know, when I see what's going on in my surrounding, and I'm talking about the stagehands, the promoters, the lightsmen, the sound men and women, you know, the whole Veranstaltungsbranche, you know, the whole event world is suffering so much, you know, and it's like in Germany, it's like 1.5 million people employed by it, you know, and the government just give you a vibe of relevant or not relevant, and it seems like, you know, they don't put culture on their agenda, you know, they put the big companies on their agenda, the car companies, you know, and the airplane companies, you know, but I miss a dialogue with the politic, you know, a little bit of love, you know, because culture, music, theater, you know, art, it keeps a society together. Without that, you know, the society is falling apart. So I think it's so important, you know. So that's very frustrating. What it does with me personally, I've never stayed so long in one place in Cologne, you know. I never spent so much time with my family. You know, I've never read so much in a row, you know. I kind of really calm down, and you know what I'm learning right now is not always to aim something, you know, just be thankful what is there, you know. And because right now we cannot make any plans. And on one hand, it's very frustrating. I have this album out now, and of course I want to tour it, you know, and I miss be on the road with the musicians. On the other hand, it's like, okay, this is the time of reflection, you know, this is the time to go inside and, you know, try to see a chance within the crisis. And I strongly believe that one day we will come out of this shit, you know, and then there will be the explosion of life joy. And people start appreciate the things what they didn't appreciate for a long time, you know, because now I start appreciate things, you know, just to shake somebody a hand, you know, or to hug somebody. The simple things in life, how Taurus Riley always sing about, you know, the simple things in life are the blessings. And that's what I realize right now.
Mm-hmm. So does Don Corleon now speak German after he worked with you on all the songs?
No, he just says Scheiße. And yeah, alles klar, Herr Kommissar, and it's typical things, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know, maybe he's advanced now.
Yeah, who knows, you know.
But he definitely got language skills, you know. When he speak German, or you know, when he repeated some sentences, what we did, like he doesn't have an accent, you know.
Wow. Okay.
So he's definitely talented.
Okay. All right. So who knows? Maybe my next interview with Don Corleon will be in all German. We'll see, you know.
Yeah,
we will find out.
You might be surprised.
So anyone who wants to also learn German, they can check out your videos that you already released from a couple of the singles like Time Out, Ahoy, and so forth. They're all on Gentleman's YouTube channel. And of course, they are embedded on our Reggaeville website. So you can also go there. And if you like visuals, then of course, they're always with the Reggaeville YouTube channel because we premiere stuff, we premiere music videos there every day. And so we did on November 6th with Eesah, who presented to us Irie.
When it's 6:30, just bust a bad split. So me know what Jamaica this. I'm feeling yeah. Loving the vibe in the Caribbean, the sun keeps shining. In a sweet jam now. I say no. Oh, I like this feeling. At the river, make a fresh smile. Yeah. Yes, I like this feeling. Well, I jelly just watch my.
For those who are frustrated now because they don't speak German, gentleman mentioned already, this is not going to be him singing German for the rest of his life. He already voiced some stuff in English again. Please tell me a bit, apart from Blauerstunde, what is coming up, especially for English-speaking massive out there?
You know what I realized? Anytime you take a break from something, or
Is
you
that to miss
you
the
or you
thing?
go, yeah, or you're going on a vacation, you know, you're so happy to come back home, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like I learned a lot when it comes to the process of songwriting, because it was a whole different approach when I did it, the German project, but I'm carrying something from that thing into the English songs now. That's what I realized, you know, because back in the days, it used to be like somebody sent me a rhythm and I start vibe it, you know. And now it's like I kind of start write the song in the head before the music is there, you know. I really think about an issue and what do I want, you know? What do I want? Where do I want the song to go? What is the purpose of the song? Why I'm doing that song, you know?
Well, either way, we are very excited and we're definitely looking forward to hearing Blaue Stunde. It's going to drop on November 20th. Regardless of you being able to understand the lyrics, I'm sure you're going to catch the vibe. Definitely a wonderful record to look forward to. One of the highlights, I would say, of this year. Gentlemen, I wish you all the best for this album, for the release.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time to speak into us about it. And of course,
thanks for your interest. Thanks for your interest.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Stay healthy, stay safe, and
You too.
all
You too.
the very best, Tillman. Thank you so much.
God bless you, Munchy. Take
Yeah,
care.
man.
Yeah.
Same
Bless
to
up.
you.
Bless up.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wha Gwaan Munchy.